Hi everybody, welcome back. Welcome to my neighborhood. I'm Jimmy. This is Jimmy's First Gen Mini Rescue. And today I am not rescuing a Mini. Surprise. No, this is part of the Subaru series. This is our 2014 Subaru Forester Premium, no supercharger, or sorry, no turbocharger on this model. Let me read today's fortune and then I'm gonna let you know what today's video is all about. It's a couple of things though, but let me show you. Let's get the fortune out, and it is: energy is equal to desire and purpose. So energy is equal to desire and purpose. Yeah, so yeah, that's a good one. I kind of like that. It gives you some deep thought. Anyway, so I'm gonna throw this in here. Today's video is basically twofold. The other day, about 2 weeks ago, Sharon told me that she was coming to make a right-hand turn, and her signal light, for those of y'all who don't know, signal lights is something you use to put on to let people behind you or in front of you know your intentions. So most cars today have them. Not everybody knows how to use them, so take the time to kind of learn about that feature in your car. Anyway, so she said it was blinking super fast. The technical term is a hyper blink. It was blinking so fast. So being as that was 2 weeks ago, I put in regular incandescent bulbs back in this car. When we first got the car, I put in LED bulbs for the signal lights because they last longer. You don't have to do it but one time. I got the first generation of LED bulbs. They lasted about, I don't know, 8 years, whatever. So I put the original bulbs back in, and I had ordered online the Sylvania LED bulbs. Not sponsored, but this is just what I'm putting in. The number is 7440A, stands for amber, because this light is clear. The bulb has to be amber for the turn signal. Now, the thing with the car, the Subaru, in order to get this tail light off, there's basically two or three steps. You can't access it from a panel behind here without dismantling the entire inside of the car. It's not designed to do that. You have two bolts here and here, they're 10 millimeter. Or it also has a built-in Phillips. So if you have a Phillips screwdriver, you should be able to take these off. I use a 10 millimeter ratchet, it's just faster. So I'm gonna show you how to do that, and I'm gonna replace, well, first I'm gonna make sure that the LEDs, this new style, works and it doesn't hyper flash the bulb on the car. So let me get you guys closer so you can see what I'm doing. And there's a trick to getting this style tail lens off of the car, and I'm going to show it to you. Okay, as I said, 10 millimeter here, 10 millimeter here. So let's loosen those up. I use a deep socket and an extension because, you know, you don't want to hit the light with your ratchet. But if you're just using a screwdriver, it's probably good enough, as you can see in there. I hope you can see that. Okay, just throw it here. Get the other one. Okay, now, let me back you guys up. I'll put you to the side here. This is the important part for this car, because you don't want to break any clips, right? Now, I use, if I can find it, I use a body pry tool. Now, let's say you're doing this in a Walmart parking lot or at a car, like an Advance or an AutoZone. None of this is sponsored, but there's a clip that's right here located in this area in the car. You don't want to pull out. You don't want to pry up or down. You want to pry straight back. So, because it's a slide clip. So I put my little tool in here and just wedge it backwards. And off she comes. And let's unplug our plug. And here's my light. If you can look here, this is where you slide straight back. So when you get it on, you have to slide it forward to lock it. So to get it off, you want to go straight back. If you don't, you're going to break this clip if you try to pry out. And it's dirty back here. And then it's just a regular plug to unplug it. Okay, this is what the back of this is where the plug plugs in. This is the back of the light. The light bulb in question is this one. Now, these are the originals that I put back in. So these are incandescent, but I like LED. It took about, I ordered these on Amazon. Again, none of this is sponsored. It's just what I like to do. I ordered them on Amazon, and it took almost 2 weeks for them to come in. So I don't know if they just had to make them or what. It's kind of a funky looking bulb. Right? Let's see here. It's a funky looking bulb. Let's see if you can focus. That's a heat distribution. But let's see what, can we get it? There we go. It's got a couple of LEDs in there. We'll see what it looks like. Plugged it in there. I'm going to temporarily plug it into the car. I'm just going to sit it here for a second. Just going to sit it right there for a second. And get the keys, and I'm gonna go turn it on, see if it works. That answer is no. I don't like that. That's hyper flashing, which means these were supposed to be that you didn't need a resistor. You see how fast that's flashing? That's not good. So this, is, to me, is a fail. Let's try it. Turn it the other way. No, that's not acceptable. So we'll go back with the incandescent bulb. See the difference? So this repair, purchasing those bulbs, that's a fail. We'll put this back. Put this back in. Line up my clip, my slide clip first. Then slide the light. And then I'll start my screws back. Okay, that was a fail. Okay, in my mind, that was a failed repair because this bulb gives you the hyper flash. So I may send them back, I may not, but that brings me to part 2 of this video. If you got to change this, let's say you find out that it's not working during a road trip, you're going somewhere, which we do. We wouldn't have 270,000 miles on this car if we didn't. But if you had to change this, you got to have the right tools on hand. And what I decided a while back was I was going to make up tool bag rolls. So I bought these rolls. It's called the Riker bag. Not sponsored. I just ordered them on Amazon. I think they were like $15 a piece. I got 2. And they're just roll up tool bags that you can put tools in. It's zippered pockets. They don't come attached, they just stay on, but they're zippered pockets. And you put your couple of tools in here, you roll it up, and then you strap it up and you're good to go. This could be your emergency tool kit. You can keep things like extra light bulbs in here. You can keep your a ratchet, some sockets, that general sockets. So what I decided to do with this car, sorry about that, I just hit you guys. With this Subaru, and for the minis. One will be for the minis, one will be for the Subaru. Now with the minis, I'm only gonna make one bag. And then I'll just transfer it to each car if we're on a road trip. I'm taking the blue and white, I'll put the bag in there. If we're taking a convertible, I'll take it out of the blue and white, put it in the convertible. You get the idea. So I only gotta make one bag for the minis. It's gonna be specific for the car, although these cars are very similar. They use a lot of the same sizes. Here we're all metric, so I will have a ratchet in here, which brings me to this Harbor Freight bag that's sitting here. Again, not sponsored, but it's just what it is. I went and bought a cheap 4-in-1 screwdriver set, and I'll put it together. I'm gonna stick it in the bag. So I bought 2, one for each bag. Now, so that's a quick screwdriver, flat tip and Phillips head, you know. Sometimes emergency, you might have to cut something. I bought 2 of these razor knives, 69 cents a piece. Put one in each bag somewhere. Set it and forget it, so to speak. A cheap crescent wrench, decent size. This is the Pittsburgh, I don't know, 8-inch. There we go. One in each bag. A pair of needle nose pliers. One in each bag. You get the idea, right? And then some like little snips. You know, you got some zip ties, because I'll put some zip ties in the bag as well. You want to cut the ends off, whatever. You got to snip some wires to twist wires together. There you go. So I got that. And then the most expensive thing I got, which I haven't even used it, I just got back, is this this ratchet here. Right? It's a 72 teeth, whatever. But what I like about it, it's small, but you pull down like you got an air chuck and it extends and locks in place. Gives you a little more leverage. Now, if it breaks, oh well, okay, so what? This is not my, this is not gonna be the ratchet that I use to replace the transmission on the orange car. This is for emergency use. You need a tool to take off, just to change a light bulb. You need a tool. You need the proper size to take off a light, to change a light bulb. So buying these cheap tools, yeah, they're cheap. And if they last, you know, 3 times, fine. Then it did its job for those 3 times. I'm not loosening lug nuts with this. The car came with a lug wrench. Okay? So this is gonna be for, say I gotta change the fan belt on the side of the road. There's a for the fan belt cover on this Subaru, there's, I think it's either a 10 or a 13 millimeter bolt on the top to remove that. So I got to remove that. That doesn't have the Phillips in it. So you got to have some sort of tool. I could use this to move the tensioner, to loosen the tensioner on the fan belt. This will work. So this is a perfect tool. It's a gadget, but it works. So I will take this cover off somehow, however it comes off, and this will go in the bag. And yes, I bought two. So one will be for the Mini, one will be for the Subaru. I'm trying to get organized in the van because that's what I'm using as my tool staging area to change the transmission on the orange Mini. And I went over to Lowe's. I got a bucket with one of those bucket tool things. So in here is a lot of the tools that I used for the when I changed the transmission in the blue that were left around, laying around the back of the van. So hopefully this will help me stay organized. I'm gonna get my tool bag rolls organized, and there'll be more things that go in there because there'll be sockets, there'll be a body tool in each. I got extras in the storeroom. I'll just put one in each. I don't know what I would use it for in the Mini, but it might come in handy. Oh, and if you don't have one of these, you could also use a credit card. Stick a credit card in there. You could use a key or like, let me see, do I have another small key? No, I don't have one. But anything on your key ring, oh, here we go, that might not scratch your paint. I don't have anything on that one now, but I would use the back of a small key to pull, to stick it in the edge and try to pull it. But you just don't want to scratch your paint, which is why this or a credit card, or not, you know, maybe not credit, but you know, a card that you don't use, like a membership card or something like that, that you're not worried about destroying if it gets bent, is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, so I'm gonna do that. This is gonna be an evolving thing. You don't have to put the whole socket set in here. You know, like for the Minis, I know I need an 8 millimeter, a 10, 11, 12, 14, 13, no 14, not really, but 13, maybe a 17 mil for the, and then whatever it is for your oil size, make sure you have those sizes. I might put a few wrenches in here, and then that's it. It rolls up, it's quiet, it's not gonna jostle around like a big bag, like a big toolbox or a toolkit. We had one in here. Every time we opened it, we spilled tools. Let me see if it's still in here. Part of the issue too was we kept it under here and it's not there because I used it. So this bag will stay and it can fit under there with the spare tire. It can fit back here, anywhere, under a seat, it doesn't matter. So you just don't want to overstuff it. But yeah, so that's gonna be the thing for this. So over time, I'll update and I'll tell you how it goes. You got room here, you can write yourself a note, Subaru, and then the other one will say Mini. I just put a piece of paper, write it in there. Anyway, that's it. So get yourself a bag. It doesn't have to be, you know, I see some people online, they sell already made tool kits for like, you know, $300–400, whatever it is. And they're generic. Make one specific for your vehicle, for what you think. You think about, okay, what can go wrong on the Mini, for instance? Well, if I had to change the fan belt or the serpentine belt, there's a special tool that the Minis have. Some people buy them. I have one. I keep it in the back of the car that I'm traveling with. If I need to change the serpentine belt, I can do it. If I have to change the ignition coil, I know that needs a 10 millimeter. I can do it. there's a special size for the air filter. So just having those sizes that I know I have in here. And what else is gonna happen? Am I gonna change a fuel pump on the side of the road? No. I'm gonna get towed somewhere and they're gonna fix it, or I'll fix it later. I'll get towed back here. So I'm not worried about having everything for every possible scenario. But if I gotta cut a wire and splice a wire, will I be able to do that? Yep. If I have to change windshield wipers, the arm or the blade, yep, I can do that. So the same with the tail lights on the Mini. In order to take it out, you got to reach behind, and you need a deep well. I think it's a 10 millimeter. So I'll definitely have one of those in the kit. And then the same for this car, just some specific things you need. All of the old lights, these were the original tail lights from 2014, the signal lights. When I put the LEDs that I had in there, I kept these underneath where I just looked, in a little container. And when it was blown out that same night she told me, I came out here, I changed it and put the originals back in, and I ordered these no good ones. So I'll have to go back to the drawing board on those, but you won't need to see it. I'll either let you know that I found some LEDs that work, and if you know of any LEDs that don't need a resistor in order to make them not hyper flash. There we go. All right, that's it for now. It's a quick one. I just wanted to update that and show you this little tool management system. Again, these tools can be cheap because they're just for repairs, for roadside repairs. They're not for overhauling an engine. You know, that's what you got your good tools for. Your Matco, your whatever, DeWalt, whatever you got, you know, in your shop. That's what those are for. This is for something to get you out of trouble. You know, if you're just gonna tighten a battery cable, do you need a $60 wrench? No, you don't. You know, so that's the premise. You know, and if it works, it works. Now I may end up getting, along with this 4-in-1 screwdriver, I may put a specific size screwdriver in each bag, but for now, this will work. Anyway, that's it. I'm rambling. I'll get you more later, but I'm getting set up. I know things are slow, but it's, you know, I'm putting the bees to sleep, so to speak, you know, because I am a beekeeper. And if you want to check that out, it's Jimmy's Neighborhood Bees right here. So, but I put the bees to sleep for winter, so I'll have more time to concentrate on this car and the Minis. Oh, by the way, I had new tires put on this car. The car has 270,600 and change miles. I put the kilometers down here too. But I took the car in to get a wheel alignment. And the guy asked, why do you want a wheel alignment? So I told him, first I said, I make my appointment to get a 5-wheel alignment. And the one service guy on the other side, he looked at me like, this guy he doesn't even know what he's talking about, 5-wheel alignment. And so I saw him looking like, you know, so I said, well, okay, the 4 tires on the car and the steering wheel is my 5th wheel that's a little bit off. So then he just started laughing because he knew I was messing with them. So yeah, so next time you go to get your alignment, tell them you want a 5-wheel alignment and see the looks that you get. So anyway, they did the alignment. It was out a little bit. They got it all straight. As soon as my wife drove it, she said, oh yeah, it feels a whole lot better. So it's a tip. When you get new tires, Subaru, you have to get all 4 tires. That's their thing. They're symmetrical, whatever. Anyway, as soon as you get your new tires, you don't want to wait, you know, over 500 miles. You don't want to wait that long. So because you don't want your tires to get worn in a funky way. So go on, you get your alignment. I got the alignment. It was at the dealership. It was $140 some odd. The technician looked over the car. Other than the oil leak I know about, he said the car is in excellent shape. He's like, you did the bearings in these because they've, you know, around this mileage you should be changing the bearings. I said, yeah. So I broke out my phone and I keep notes of everything and the mileage. Sometimes I put the dates on it. And I showed him what mileage the wheel bearings was changed, what mileage the brakes was changed. He's like, okay, we don't have to worry about your car. It's in excellent shape. You know, they didn't wash it though. They should have washed it. But anyway, so if you do your maintenance, your cars will run. They'll be reliable. Knock on wood. Hopefully everything on here will stay reliable. And so that's all I'm saying. Do your maintenance, change your oil. He looked inside. He said, you know, he looked in my oil cap. I'm like, you can't see anything in the Subaru because it's a funky thing. He said, we got a scope. And we looked in and we could see it looks good in there. So, okay, you know what you're looking for. So anyway, that's it. I know the next thing on this car, I do want to change the differential fluids, oil, front and rear differential. And I don't know when, but I'll get that done sooner or later. Anyway, that's it for now. Thank you all for watching, the subscribers, the commenters, the everybody, people who share the video. If you got anything specific, I got a question. Now, this is something I heard, and me and my wife been going back and forth about it. In the world, the whole world, we're talking about the world, right? Every country in the world, every place in the world. Are there more wheels, like a wheel, or are there more doors, like in your door, like a car door? Which one, you know? I'm not gonna say, I might give it a week or two before I say what I think, but needless to say, me and the wife are different. So it's just a fun thing. So ask your spouse, ask your friends, ask your whatever. Do you think there's more wheels in the world or more doors? Let me know. And I hope I don't start big arguments. I'm glad I did this after Thanksgiving because I'd hate to break up a Thanksgiving family thing for this argument. But thank y'all for watching. I hope you had a wonderful, safe Thanksgiving with your family and friends and people you care about. And we'll see you on the next one. And have fun with your Minis and Subarus, even when your repairs don't work out like you wanted them to. All right. Bye, y'all.